Hi guys, today I've decided to do a nursery rhyme canvas. Now this canvas you can see I got from the Dollarama. It was $1.25 and there's 3 in a pack. You can do cardboard. I was going to do cardboard. I remembered I had these, so I was going to do a cardboard 5x7, but I decided to do the canvas since I did have this one available to me. So guys, I need to know one thing is the camera or iPad is on my pens and whatnot, and I changed the angle a little closer and lower. So let me know how that works for you guys. I would appreciate some comments to tell me, because if it's better, you guys can see what I'm doing better. Like before, you're seeing what I'm doing stuff, but I don't think you can see what I'm doing. And it's just that for now, until I get figuring out how to use the camera, I need to do something different with the way I am filming or recording. So today we're going to do a 5x7 canvas, and we're going to do nursery rhymes. So any nursery rhyme, that's the challenge for today. And as soon as I think nursery rhymes, for some reason I thought about Humpty Dumpty. And of course I think he's in Alice's the Looking Glass or whatever. So I kind of drew him up kind of maybe like the character, and so we can build like around him, like the wall, stone wall and whatnot, and I could throw a teacup in his hand or whatever. But I just kind of made a pattern, and then so I remember how everything looks. I kind of did that. So I'm probably going to sketch him out on like scrap paper or a card or whatever. I'm not sure yet, but I think we're going to have to work on the background first of all for this particular canvas. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to probably color up the background. I have this nice brick pattern plastic that you probably do impressions on cakes or something like that. That's probably what it's originally planned for. I usually do rubs on it like with my crayons or whatever. So I'm going to use that for the brick after I do the background, and we're just going to kind of wing it, go from there. I don't have a plan except for this guy. I just thought that that's what I wanted to do. So I have this big stamp, and I think this is one of the biggest wooden stamps I have, and I know what it is. It's the you know, graded, or whatever it's called, you know, the lines. But I'm just going to use this side of it because I don't need to see what it is. This is my only big stamp like this, and I know what it is. And I'm going to grab these alphabet letters, and I'm going to stick them on and create another stamp on this side. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see if I can, I don't know if you could tear these out, or if I have to cut them out. I kind of don't want to deal with the flap of the top keep closing on me. These are not my favorite scissors. I'm going to switch those out. So I'm going to use that as a, these ones don't close all the way. I don't know what the heck. I might have to readjust the screw. These ones are going to be, so yeah, you know what it is. I know what it is, and I don't need to have it. And I'm just going to randomly put some letters on it. These ones are very thin, but they should work. Just to make another stamp. So, because it is a nursery rhyme type of thing, I want to have kind of a whimsical background, and it's going to be backwards, the letters probably too, but I don't really, because you know the letters are this way, but to me it doesn't really matter. I could even probably even almost play it if I do it upside down and backwards. Some of them, if I choose the right ones. So I'll just try to do that. Because no one's going to look really closely at my B and see that it is upside down. Because it's just going to be background. Just like that. Just gonna do more. Letters that you can't mess up forwards or backwards. I actually should have done it that way. Let's see if I can restick it. I might not be able to. It's kind of crazy. It moved. It's kind of like disshaped now. I've got more pages if I need to do that. So I'm going to continue. Okay, so I got the back of this all alphabets. You don't have to put in any order. Just I did this one backwards, and I kind of messed up the shape a little bit because I restuck it, and deformed it because it's very thin foam. But hey, whatever. I might like fix it maybe, but it's not the big deal. It's just for texture in the background, so it's not going to be a huge deal if I deformed the letters. So I just did letters that look good both forwards and backwards, and then I did these ones backwards and I did these ones forwards, and these ones just way across because they don't make a forwards or backwards. They can be read both ways, so that's great. Now I'm just going to add some texture to my background, and I'm probably so low of paint that I'm going to have to kind of do some painting on here. I'm going to do some sprays first. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do the blue on the top. Oops, I'm ripping off my lids here. I'm going to do the blue on the top. And I didn't do anything to prime this. I'm just going directly on. And I'm going to do a little bit of brown for the lower. And I'm going to do a tad of green at the very, very bottom because I don't even know if it's going to be any green there. But now I'm just going to dry that up. And that's all I'm doing with the homemade alcohol sprays that I made with alcohol and markers. I'm going to dry that off. Now I like this. What I did to get the kind of streaky look is I kind of teeter-tottered back and forth as I'm drying it. So then, because it was quite wet. And so then it would go back and forth. I'm going to grab a stencil because now I feel like I want to just add a little more to the background. So the stencil I'm wanting to grab that I'm thinking of in my head is this one. So I'm going to grab more blue, and I know I said I wasn't going to do any more, but I'm going to do more because it's going to add to the color. It's going to be really nice. And then I'm going to flip it. And because I don't want to get my hands, sorry guys, get my hands full right now because I don't want to. I'm going to do this so I got a really neat look. You guys, I don't even know how well you can see it, but it's really cool when you go over your backgrounds like that. So I might even just play with my brown too. Yeah, what the heck, eh? I might just do that because now it's a very whimsical project, so it's going to be good. I'm going to put a little up. I'm going to roll it because I don't want to get my hands all inky again today for when I'm between doing this. I don't want to get my hands full. Now you can see that the ink and the alcohol is really working the ink on the bottom. So that's looking really cool. I'm going to do a little bit for the grass. And that's green. I'm going to do a little bit for the grass just because I've decided I want to play with it like this. So now I'm going to just pull up a little right up here. It might be a little on the, I'm just doing it in one swipe. Maybe I'll even do a little bit there. Because what you rub off is really amazing what it does. It just pulls at the color and it does a really unique look. Now I'm going to dry it off so you might be able to see a little more detail after I do that. And so it works really well. Like, you know, when you're doing watercolor and you're dropping water and you're pulling the colors, I think that's the idea. That's what it's really doing. And I really like that look. And it's really, really cool. Now that it's dry, I can really show you that it's not shining, and I can really show you the technique. And it's really, really unique. Now, what I'm going to do instead of adding paint to this is I'm going to add some alcohol just to these and tap it on. You could probably do it with water too, but because I got the alcohol in the, I'm going to try it with that. I'm going to tap it on. Grab my, I don't want too much alcohol on the wood, and even make some more markings like this, and see how that works. Just like a stamp. Now, because of the indent in the canvas being a dollar store canvas, or perhaps even just the way canvases are, I'm not sure with these types, I missed a bit in the center here, but that's okay because that's where the Humpty Dumpty issue is going to be. Like but look at the alphabets in the background. So that's pretty cool. Look, I like it. I might even just go a little bit sideways right here. I just don't want too much on the wood because I don't want to be taking too much out. And like I said, probably work with water too, but I'm just using the alcohol spray. Now, I did it sideways, and you can see the A coming out and pulling that color out. My husband keeps calling me. So this is what it's looking like, and it's really cool, and I like that. Now for the background. I'm really wishing that this was a stencil, because that would look so nice as a stencil. But it doesn't, and I think I'm going to use some modeling paste and see what I can get for a indentation. I was going to add paper, but I do not wish to do that now. Yay! My modeling paste is not totally dry this time. Now, either I really cleaned my edge off good enough and the lid closed really well. That makes me happy. Okay, so I got this big awkward dollar store putty knife, but I'm just going to spread some here, and I know that I have my nice beautiful paint job underneath, but maybe some of it will come through, because I like the way sometimes modeling paste does soak up colors, but because of this type of canvas, it may not. It does really well on paper, but the canvas might suck it in, and I didn't put any gesso or anything. I think that's good. I should have probably used something better to smooth it out, but I'm not putting a wall here. Well, I am, but not not my living room wall. Okay. Keep doing that. Going. Okay, so this is how it's looking, and it's very cute. I'm going to add a little bit of the brown and the green to it. Maybe. Let's see here. And dry that and do my same thing as I did before with the stencil. Now I'm thinking I'm going to put a little bit more green in the background, like there's some bushes or something. And it's kind of looking a bit mugged, but we'll try to avoid it mixing too much. Okay, this is how the background's looking, and I really am pleased with it. I did, add a little bit of green back here to make it like the bushes behind him or something, and a little bit of green in the bottom here. I would like to add a little bit of grass in that later, but I'm going to add a tad of gold to this, and just to highlight it, and then I might even buff it up a little bit of black after, but I do want to add a tad of gold, and probably would be best with my finger. I don't know. I don't know at this point. This brush is really stiff because I used it for the gold, and I doesn't seem to get rinsed out properly. Okay. Yes, there is some nice gold in there, so that's going to look really sharp. If you guys can catch that, I don't know. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of a dry brush of the gold over top. I use this a lot, I know. Same old, same old. I can't help it. I love the gold. And I'm going to go the opposite direction just for a really neat visual texture or look. You can see that it's crisscrossing like material or cloth. Okay. Okay, I moved my background to the side, and I'm going to work with this paper here that's kind of a robin's egg almost. It's a little, it looks maybe grayer on what I see on the screen as what you guys probably see, but I decided I don't want to make him like a white egg, so I could always add a creamy white to this to whiten them up a bit, but I don't want to do a white egg. So I decided to do almost like a robin's looking egg. And I like this color. Oh, did I get something on there? So I'm going to use this. And I'm just going to try to cut along here. I made him with his little body as a guide because I didn't want to refit his body and whatnot. So that's why I did that. So then I could kind of look at him, and I don't know. I just did that way because I wanted to. So you could just do an egg and then add a body to it, whatever. I just decided to do it because I was trying to draw and see what it would look like as I'm going along, instead of kind of drawing the egg and then figuring out his body. I just drew it all together. I could have cut around because I drew the egg part first and then I drew his stuff, but whatever. It is what it is. So I think this side has more texture than that side, so that's why I did a reverse of it, because I want to have a good texture. And just because I'm going to ink it now a little bit, because if I put anything over it, clothing or whatever, I don't want to have trouble inking the edges, because it's all white where I cut it, so it's that kind of paper. It's not colored right through. This scrapbooking paper, I think I got it from like a, you know, the stores that just buy a bunch of stuff from different places that are going out of business, or they just want to get rid of their stuff. One of those like deals, great deal places or whatever. So that's why maybe it's kind of the lesser quality paper. I don't know. It's pretty thick though. So anyways, that's what he looks like. Now I saw, and it was a cat paper too. Oops. So this one was like all felines, but I don't like that kind of stuff. But I do like some of the colors that they had in this paper pad. This is It's the Cat's Life. So I don't even know what the heck it's from, where, who made it. But I don't use it for anything, but I did like the colors in there. So that's why I grabbed it, because I'm like, well, I don't need to use the cat stuff. So now that I have his head and all that stuff done, I can cut out his suit here and trace that. Take it apart. Oops, that's why I'm getting all my paper all wrecked here. Take it apart a little. So now I'm going to do his body, or his suit and legs. See, less fiddling now. I didn't have to match it up with the egg, so that I drew. I think it's less fiddling in my mind. So there is his body. So now I've got that, and this is a thinner paper, the pattern paper, whereas the colored paper in that pad is quite thick. So it is nice paper for maybe $3 I think I spent on it. But and that's the only reason, like that much for that much paper, and you don't have to use the cat stuff, or the kids could use the cat stuff. It's for, you know, when you have cats and you take pictures of your cats and all that jazz. Yeah. I don't take pictures of my pets, guys. I know there's lots of lover pet people, and I do love pets, but I don't like to take pictures of my pets and do a thing. I don't even do that for my family, you know, the scrapbooking thing. But I guess that's what most of the scrapbooking stuff is for, but I don't do that because you just put everything on the computer. It just seems like a lot of work. I was at one time a photo person and took a lot of pictures and developed a lot of pictures when they did that. And then, yeah, I never did make a page or anything like that. I crafted, but I didn't craft like that. I crafted, see, now look, no fuss pants. I don't have to try to figure it out, right? Now we have the pants. Now we need to cut the legs out. See how easy that is, and without any fussing, and it's all matching together like a puzzle right over top with layers. So that's why I did it. Now you got the legs. Now, because the legs are not going to be the same color as his suit, you're going to want to find a scrap paper. Let's see here. I got some nice paper. It's got some paint on it. This will do perfectly. And I will do my legs. And notice I'm putting everything upside down so everything matches perfectly. I'm doing it all one way. And that way, if you're not doing it on the front, you don't have to worry about pencil marks. That's one thing my girlfriend taught me, Carlene. She used to do scrapbooking, and she taught me to always trace backwards, because back then they had the letters that you had to do backwards on the paper and cut them out, and do it backwards and behind, so then you can cut out your, don't have to worry about pencil marks. It's like, yay. So now I have my legs. So we just, and it's easy, and I just drew this guy, you know, looked at the picture of this guy. I'm thinking he's right from the book, but I'm not sure. If, like, I just found a picture on Pinterest, whatever. And Yeah, I drew them, and there we go. So now I have everything matching up, and I don't have any edges, right? So I did go in a little bit on this one when I cut it, so I'll just go like that. Not a biggly wiggly, no biggly wiggly. So then I just got to outline where his feet go. His feet. I always talk like that. I don't know why. And we have his layers just like that. So if I were to take, I'm going to go with my pencil. I'm going to go, this leg goes over the other leg. And we're going to go like that. And we'll have to straighten him out a little bit. So he's going to have his little legs. I'm going to probably do stripes on his legs or something like that. And there they are. I might want to straighten out his little leg here a bit, because he does look like he's got a lump on his leg. Little details that can be fixed, no problemo after. And then I'm going to want to make a nice line with a black something or other marker to make his leg line, just like that. But then I'm going to go over with his stripes. That's when I can do that. Boop. Separate his legs. So then he goes like this. Fits on there. We can just trim whatever goes over after, because that's not a big deal. Now, one thing more I want to do is his tie, his bow tie, and I'm probably going to add a little paper in behind here. So what I'm going to do is draw this again and just add a little paper in behind him. So I traced this one again just on a pad of paper, and you can see that I did it again upside down. That there's his body top, and then I did a little bit of an edge, and that will be his shirt underneath his suit, and that's it. So you can kind of just do something like that for the oh, am I in focus or in frame? I'm not good at that. For his shirt. So you could do that with any character that you choose to do. So now you see that we have the line through, you can see it through, you know where it's going to measure. Now we have his shirt and his suit and his stockings, and I'm going to put a bow tie. So this is how we do it. This is so fun. This is what I used to do all the time with the kids, even before I started crafting and things. We used to do these characters. The kids would have to read their books, because we've been homeschooling for a long time. And we would have, like, for example, we had Stone Soup. They would have to draw their characters and all the vegetables and whatnot, and they did layers like this with the paper, colored paper and whatnot, to bring out what they were doing. It wasn't just a flat drawing or coloring or anything. And we put them, paste them on the back of the large tongue depressor popsicle sticks type things, and then they would play out the story of what they read, their project, and that was their projects. So stories like that. And then it was showing me that the kids were listening and that kind of thing, and I'd help them out and give them ideas and give them tips like this. And this is where I started doing this kind of thing, where I was teaching them how to do this. So then they're like, they did the carrot, and then they would have the carrot top, you know, in different paper color, rather than just drawing it all out all the time. It was just another way to play with paper and be more active in it and just have more fun. I don't know, but that's what we did a lot of, and that's where I started doing that kind of thing. So now I'm going to start gluing it together. I think I'm going to mark up his stockings first. So let's see what I can find. Should I do a marker, perhaps. I don't know. So I don't know if I should find something thinner. Maybe I'll look for a gel pen. I don't know what would be better right now because I don't have a thin enough marker that is not dry. So I'm going to go with the gel pen and just hope that it doesn't smear. It's really thin. And I'm just going to go kind of around the edges like I would normally go. I'm going to ink the edges as well, but you kind of want, you know, you could do this before you cut it out too, but I like, I don't know, I like doing it after, just because then it's, you don't cut on the line and you're messing up. I don't know if I can thin out his leg. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, because this is kind of his leg coming down here like this, so no, I'm not going to thin out his leg. And I don't know if you guys can see me doing this. Probably not because my hands are all in the way. But there is his legs like that. Now, for his little stripes, I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to add stripes because the little picture that I did have had the little stripes, and it is really cute. I just don't want to smear the ink. So his little stripes just keep going like this, all the way down. Okay, anyways, kids coming in, kids coming out. Now I'm going to put his collar, I think I'm going to put it a little bit up, right there. Just like that. Isn't that cute? So this is what I drew. And I just hand sketched it from the picture that I was going by. Took it apart and did the layers. And this is how it was working out. It's working out great. Now the white layers are, this is not white. It's got different paints on it. But it's just scrap paper. But the white layers is just from my notepads. The collar and the shirt is just from my notepads. So then it's going to go on here like this. So now I'm going to be prepared to do this part. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to move it down a bit and pencil in a little bit like this. So that I don't have to keep flipping it over and squishing any glue out. Penciled in a little bit. Now I know where I'm going to put my glue. And then I'm not going to get too close to the edge. I'm using my Ilene's tacky glue, which is excellent. I think I've used this always for this kind of stuff. So, just like that. Just a little easier because I know this is still drying and I don't want to move anything. I don't want to smear anything by flipping it. So you got that going like that. I'm just going to spray this a little bit here because I'm going to need, for cleaning this, it's driving me absolutely nuts. It's so sticky, that's the thing. You don't want to wreck all this hard work because you got a little too sticky on your surface. Okay, so now I'm going to stick this on there, and even just like leaving it sit for even a few seconds allows it to get a little more tacky. And anything that's over the edge that's showing I don't like, I can just trim off of any blue or whatever. Make sure I don't have anything tacky on my napkin on that part, and push in. And just like that. So I'm just going to touch up a few spots here where my fingerprints, my fingers stuck to it with glue. And dulled the ink a bit. Just go really carefully over the edges. I don't want to be making it a mess. And that is what he's looking like. He's so very cute. I'll probably be drawing him his shirt and whatnot. And on this piece here, I do have his arms. So I'll probably, if you can see, they're coming down here, but I didn't really do anything with them. So it looks like they're kind of tucked in. So I'm going to do that right now. I probably don't have to, but I'm just going to do that with this gel pen. Hopefully it'll be a good choice that I did it with the gel pen. I'm trying to really let it set and dry so then it doesn't smear, being more patient with it. You can do the stitches around the arms a bit down. I'm just doing this. You guys can do whatever character you want to, by the way. I'm just saying that this is the Nursery Rhyme Challenge to do a 5x7. I don't know if I like the one on his elbow, but I was kind of going for a little bit of a patch on his elbow, but we can fix that up after. So yeah, doing a 5x7 Nursery Rhyme canvas. So I think I'm going to do his, I wonder if I should do his lips right now. I think I should do his lips. Don't need too much. I'm trying to lift my arm over so I don't go in front. I keep forgetting that. I keep putting things right across, right where my arm goes for my glues and stuff. So I'm going to put his lips a little lower than I originally planned, but that's okay. Because any pencil lines I very lightly drew on there for where his lips are going to go, I can erase, and if you can see it right over here. And now he's looking a little sad, but that's okay. So now we need to work on his eyes, and I think I'm going to make his eyes. I'm not the best at figuring out what kind of eyes. I think I want to make him look a little bit sad. He's got some issues. Now the character that I've seen, his eyes are a little different, more ovally, and but whatever. I kind of want to make him look a little like this. So I'm kind of making his eyes a little sketchy, and I'm not sure what color they're going to be. I know his eye looks a little bigger than the other one, or smaller. Do his nose. And there we go. I'm going to let that dry for a second because it's really moist. Okay, so did his eyes, widen them up a bit because I used the correction pen. That's all I have that would do the eyes. I bought this, and I had to go around with little bigger because of course the correction pen's a little hard to control. And now what I'm going to do around the nose is I think I'm just going to use my yeah, I'm going to use my watercolor crayon. By the way, I tried putting my watercolor crayon in the microwave because it was kept breaking and it exploded on me. I was not happy. Like 4 seconds. I didn't even finish 4 seconds. I'm like sad. A sad woman. Anyway, my other one. So that was sad. So I'm just going to go around the nose a bit. And in here between the lips a bit. I'm just going to do a little bit of shading, and then I'm going to add a tad of water. And hopefully that doesn't like destroy my art. And then this is kind of going to be like almost a brow bone or whatever here. So I'm going around his eye a bit. I'm not really giving him eyebrows, but I'm giving him kind of a brown brow bone. Is that what it's called? And I'm going to do a little bit of the cracking effect around with the watercolor pencil. I'm going to give him a little bit of a something down here too. And I'm going to be very careful on how much water I put on it because I want to not all just kind of go everywhere. And this is how he's looking so far. I don't know if I've ever done anything like this for you guys before. Kind of like a face or anything like that. So this is a first. So I got my smallest little cheapy Crayola paintbrush. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it. And it might be a little much, but we can always just pull some away. Add a little bit more water. I could always lighten it up too, so I know this is taking a long time. It's going to be a long video. I hope you guys still love it.